Hi mathematicians. Today we're going to interpret data in order to prove or disprove mathematical conjectures. For today's lesson, you are going to need a pencil and your math notebook, so I'll let you go ahead and get those things out. The first thing that we need to do when presented with a data chart is we need to be able to read it. So it's important that you look at the title. This one's called Panda Populations, as well as you look at the columns and know what those columns mean for. This column, which I've named X, is the years after 1999, and the right-hand column that I've named Y is the number of red pandas that are left in the world. All right, I want you to take a second and I want you to read this chart. You're going to have about 1 minute to list everything that you can tell me about panda populations based on the information that you read from this chart. You will record your thinking in your notebook. You may begin. I have a feeling you read some of the same things on the information that I read. So you probably noticed that there's a trend that the number of red pandas is decreasing each year. It started out as 25,000 in year 2000, and then in 2006 the number was all the way down to 6,554. So a lot of different things then you can notice. You can notice trends using greater than, less than, more, less, similar. So I also noticed that between the years 2000, 2003, 2004, the number seems to be decreasing right around 2000 each year, all the way down to 2006. So in order to be successful with today's lesson, and in order to approve or disapprove conjectures, you need to understand what a conjecture is. A conjecture is a statement that is thought to be true but has not yet been proven. And then once you are given a conjecture, you can construct an argument either for or against, whether you agree and you can justify, or perhaps you disagree and you can justify your thinking. So let's take a look. We have our data chart that we've been presented with. Let's take a look at a sample conjecture. There were about 20,000 fewer pandas in 2006 than in 2000. So after reading that statement, you need to look at the information in the conjecture, take a look at the information in the chart. So in 2006, we had 6,554 red pandas, and in 2000, there were 25,000 pandas. And this conjecture says there are about 20,000 fewer. So based on that conjecture, that we can say yes, that conjecture is true. I agree with it. And you have to be able to justify why you agree or disagree with something. So here is a justification for this conjecture. Yes, because if I use estimation, 25,000 minus 7,000 equals 18,000. And 18,000 would be rounded to 20,000. So yes, there are about 20,000 fewer pandas in 2006 than there were in 2000. Let's take a look at another one. So let's take a look at this data chart. Remember, anytime you're presented with a data chart, you first need to read and interpret the information. So we see the title is the area of Texas cities, and then we see 4 cities listed, as well as the area in square kilometers. So the conjecture for this one is the 9 in the hundredths place of Fort Worth is 10 times larger than the 9 in the ones place of Dallas. And so I go to Fort Worth, and I look at the 9 in the hundredths place, and then I go to Dallas and I look at the 9 in the ones place. So based on that information, you're probably agreeing with Miss J, and you got to think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Well, the value of the 9 is 900, and the value of the 9 is 9 ones. And I'm going to ask myself, is that 10 times larger? I'm shaking my head no. So that tells me that no. The value of the 9 in Fort Worth is 100 times larger than the 9 in the ones place, because 9 times 100 is 900, not 9 times 10 equals 900. So this conjecture we have disapproved with our justification. All right, friends, now it's your turn, mathematicians. Upon reading a conjecture, after you've read some data charts today, you're going to have to decide, do you agree or do you disagree? Do you approve or do you disapprove? And you're going to have to give some justification as to why.